In the United States, a curious and often misunderstood phenomenon has persisted for decades: real-life superheroes. These are not comic book characters brought to the screen, but ordinary people who adopt heroic identities, sometimes complete with costumes and aliases, to patrol neighborhoods, provide aid, or intervene where they believe society has failed. While the public often treats them as curiosities or cautionary tales, real-life superheroes offer science fiction writers something far more valuable than spectacle. They offer a living laboratory for exploring power, identity, and moral responsibility in a fractured world. What makes real-life superheroes compelling is not what they can do, but why they choose to act at all. Unlike fictional heroes, they operate without superhuman abilities, institutional backing, or narrative certainty. Their existence is a response to perceived absence of safety, justice, or care. In this way, they resemble the protagonists of classic science fiction more than modern blockbuster heroes. Science fiction has long asked what happens when individuals step forward because systems cannot or will not. Real-life superheroes are people who answered that question outside the page. Figures such as Phoenix Jones illustrate the central tension that makes this phenomenon fertile ground for speculative storytelling. Jones became famous for patrolling Seattle streets in body armor, intervening in fights, and filming encounters. To supporters, he symbolized courage and civic duty. To critics, he embodied the dangers of vigilantism and unregulated authority. For a science fiction writer, this duality is not a flaw, it is the point. Real-life superheroes occupy a moral gray zone where intention and consequence rarely align cleanly, a space where the most meaningful speculative stories are born. For writers, one of the most powerful lessons of real-life superheroes lies in their relationship to identity. Costumes and alter egos are often dismissed as theatrics, but they function as psychological thresholds. The mask allows an individual to act differently, to cross lines they would not cross as themselves. Science fiction has repeatedly explored this fragmentation of identity, from cybernetic enhancements to digital avatars. Real-life superheroes demonstrate that this fragmentation does not require advanced technology, only belief and social pressure. The speculative question becomes not what if technology changed us, but what if choosing to act already does? Another influence lies in the absence of formal authority. Real-life superheroes do not operate under laws designed for them. They invent personal codes of ethics, drawing lines that feel right to them but may not align with societal norms. For science fiction writers, this presents an opportunity to move beyond familiar dystopian tropes of authoritarian states. Instead, stories can explore decentralized justice, worlds where moral authority is fragmented, personalized, and contested. What happens when everyone believes they are acting responsibly, yet no shared framework exists to resolve conflict? Perhaps most importantly, real-life superheroes challenge writers to confront consequence. In fiction, heroes often succeed because the narrative requires it. In reality, outcomes are uncertain and sometimes tragic. Arrests, injuries, public backlash, and unintended escalation are common. Science fiction inspired by this phenomenon does not need grand apocalyptic stakes to feel profound. It can focus on small failures, unintended harm, and the emotional toll of trying and not always succeeding to make things better. Ultimately, real-life superheroes influence science fiction writers by grounding speculative ideas in lived human experience. They remind us that heroism is not synonymous with righteousness, and action is not the same as wisdom. They reveal that the future science fiction imagines, one shaped by individuals acting outside systems, is already arriving in imperfect, uncomfortable forms. For writers willing to look past the costumes, real-life superheroes offer something rare: a mirror, not of who we wish we were, but of who we become when we believe the world is breaking and decide, rightly or wrongly, to step forward anyway.